And we ain't done. We ain't done, Sean. So look, Trevor has a question for you. He asked, "How many times did Judd use his famous line, 'Be a guard, don't be garbage'?"
Not garbage. Oh my
god! And does and do you have a good Judd story? And what did Judd mean to you?
Well, I think the hardest part. I think I saw somebody put some up there about the Hall of Fame induction, and I appreciate it. But that induction was hard because the only man who was, or the two guys who was still involved, still around, should I say, Tom Izzo and my AAU coach, Coach Littlejohn. And Coach Littlejohn's done a great job in the city of Detroit with so many players of us that come through, from Willie Burton to Terry Mills. And I don't know if Steve played for him at one point, but I mean, he's just got Tony Talbot, rest in peace. I mean, he just had so many tremendous players come through. The hardest part about the induction was that the three wise men, as I call them, weren't there. My grandfather died in 2002. Judd Heathcote, who died in 2017 or 18, and then my dad this past year. So it's just hard to enjoy a moment, to relish a moment, when you have the people that I thought were the most influential for me aren't there anymore. But if I had to think of a memory that stood out, it definitely was, people talk about the kiss and the tradition of kissing the floor. That was just, it's hard to think about why people made it such a big deal. I honestly just wanted to, I didn't want to feel like a fucking princess and turn around and waving at everybody, in the whole arena. So I just wanted to do something I thought was legitimate, and kissing the floor just felt like it was a way to say thank you. And if you ever see like me doing it, I just took my time. I didn't rush. And I feel like it's not the gesture of the kiss. It's just the idea that I want to seal everything in, that after 5 years of being up there on campus, trying to figure out how to do this thing, I figured it out. And it didn't work for me. It worked for everybody. But that came at a cost. It came at a price. You don't think my teammates, wanted the same dreams for themselves?
Right.
And the respect you got to have when they looking at the guy that they in the locker room with, that they got to kind of move out of the way for you and make room and not be in your way. Like, that takes as much discipline as it did with me making shots. So sometimes we go on these shows and start talking about your top five. You forget about the hundreds of motherfuckers who had the same dream and didn't get to live their shit. So don't be quick to talk about the top five. Let's make sure we relish in those role players and those guys. When we all came out, we had the same delusion about being an ultimate player. I want to pay respect for them. That's who I am. That those guys and there's dreams that they had to give up on to allow my shit to live. I'm never going to downplay that. So that's what that kiss was. It wasn't about, I know some people made stories about this Fab Five stomping on the floor. I get it. And it could be, maybe, but my story is just the fact that it was about my family. It was about my teammates, and it was about everybody else that contributed to that. That it was, don't forget about them. While you celebrate me, this shit can't happen without everybody else playing the role that they play.
Damn right. I mean, so where you living at now before we leave? Because we most definitely got to have a cigar, brother.
Oh, I'm down in H-Town, but I mean,
Houston.
Down in H-Town, yes, sir. I don't get to Florida too much, but you know what? There's places in between. We still got to get you back. You and Jay, y'all got to come to the golf event June 23rd. We got the West Michigan Golf Club in Grand Rapids. We have the golf tournament. This is the 25th anniversary this summer. So I'm looking for. Listen, I'd love to have you guys, man.
Man, that's easy.
Enough said.
You got the free cigar.
I got cigars. I got whiskey.
Before you get there.
Come on, man. Come on. I appreciate you guys.
I promise you, I'm gonna be there,
brother. Thank you. I love you. I love you both, man. You guys keep doing a good job. I really mean that. Like, I like the show because it's not like everybody else's. It's Jay, you really made it and owned it. Said you getting on there now. Like, to me, you guys have shown that you can come down to the valley or you can go up to the top of the mountain. And I appreciate that. All in between.
Man, hey, brother, we really appreciate that coming from you. You dropping jewels today. You know, you talked a lot about the whole evolution of Shawn Respert, and you're getting a little taste of who he is. I mean, this is a brother right here. I can spend, hey, man, we're going to do an hour a week. That's it. An hour a week, me and you. Okay? That's what's going to be. You know, Shawn, you know, looking at what happened, you know, you talked about the kiss and why you did it, and looking at what it's evolved in today. It's a tradition. It's something that everybody that watches Michigan State, that went to Michigan State, that loves Michigan State, knows about. And it's something that you just, it came organically from your heart. And now you see what happened this Sunday. And you see Jiggy, you know, Trey Holloman, he's there, and the Michigan players doing the shit they like to do. And, you know, I mean, they did what they do. They put the flag in Ohio State Stadium in football.
Why is Michigan always involved with something, man? I'm not even gonna bag on them, but here I'm gonna read you this, because this is what I text Trey Holloman too, and I didn't see the game, I saw it, but I said Trey, congrats on an incredible year and Big Ten championship season. I have admired your work and dedication to the school and the game. Even more importantly, what courage you displayed to keep our tradition going. Just be careful how you execute it next time. Too many idiots don't have what we have, and they will look to make excuses and negative statements if we don't show patience with their ignorance. Right. You get what I know.
Man, Malcolm X ain't got shit on you.
But I say that to say, you know, the Michigan rivalry is always going to be one. I didn't speak very often with Jalen and Chris, and I ended up becoming really good friends with Jawan, you know, after we got done playing. But while you're in school, I get it. You know, you get involved with that, and it's hard to break out of it. When you get mature and understand that our time is done with that. No, I'm always root for Michigan. I'm always root for, you know, Michigan State, because that's part of the state I grew up in. I'm not against Michigan. I grew up enjoying watching both teams. But my Michigan State loyalty is because that's just the life that I had. And to see kids fighting and bickering over stuff, you know, it's just unnecessary at this point. I'm not saying don't battle. I just mean sometimes ignorance, you have to show grace. The three of us are not sitting in the rooms we sitting in because we deserved every damn thing that we got. Right. Somebody allowed us to have grace and pass through, and I'm thankful for that. And at the end of, you know, my life, I just want people to say that, you know, everything that they got an opportunity to talk to me or see me and, you know, meet me, that they got the best version of what I was at that time. It ain't always be the best version of who I am, but at that time, yeah. If you cross and pass with me, you ain't getting the worst version of me. And I think that's what Trey Holloman needed to do. Those guys are going, our tradition and whatever was started is so great, they can't stop it. So why waste energy with that? What the refs going to do? Tell them that it's okay? I mean, you just have to be smarter. And I think one of the post interviews was Michigan's coach saying he didn't realize what was going on. And I'm not bagging on him, but I don't know where the hell you been at living at then if you don't know this going on. So, I mean, it's okay. It's okay to say certain things and it fool dumbass people. But for those of us who know, just talk. It's better just not to answer anything, you know, and leave it alone. But Trey and, you know, I just wanted him not to sour Jay Nakins and the other seniors who have now waited their turn to have an opportunity to do it. Don't sour that with these guys trying to bait you into gestures, bait you into things like that. We have to be emotionally mature and know that, like, when we pass those tests, that's when we really have things waiting for us. It ain't easy, you know, to pass the hardest test. But those guys did a good job. Tom's done a good job. You talk about the other sport programs who've adapted their own version of it. I'm just amazed that it became such a anomaly with, you know, the school. And I'm thankful that, again, just a kid from Detroit, man. I wasn't supposed to be doing what I was doing. So, you know, I just don't want to be in the way when the next person comes through. And it's not about creating a new tradition. It's just about finding a way to show your thankfulness for everything that has happened before you, and then what's going to happen after you. You know, do something so that the kids behind us have an opportunity to say that they want to do a version of something as great as it was when we were at our time.
Hey,